A lot of people ask me, why did you decide to be an artist? Or how did it come about that you became or wanted to be an artist? And when I look back on my childhood, art was not a big feature of my family. My mother was a musician and could play the piano, but did not know how to read music. So she played by ear, very talented in the music. I have a sister that has a beautiful voice. She could sing. I have another sister that's just smart. She's just the smart one. As a child, I watched my grandfather carve wood. There were several things he would make. One of my favorites, and everybody's favorite, was the wooden fan. He would take a block of pine wood, slice it down the top part, and then soak it in water overnight. Then he would splay these little parts of the wood into a fan, and they'd dry, and they would be permanently shaped like a fan. He did that. He also would carve wooden hammers, which, I thought was curious. But isn't that interesting that he made wooden hammers, and I have a dozen of those around the house that he made. And then I became a metalsmith. There's definitely, you can draw the line pretty close with that. I wanted to be a maker. I loved to make things as a child. I also like to draw and paint, but I think I've always really liked the hands-on 3D connection with actually making objects. So throughout school, I looked for art projects and I would ask, can I do my science project, but can I do some art along with it? Sometimes that worked out, sometimes it didn't. But anyway, at school, I looked for ways to be working in an artistic way. Had some pretty good art teachers in junior high school, but in high school I had several really excellent art teachers, and they encouraged me and pushed me. And then my senior year, I had an opportunity to go to the Caddo Career Center, where one of my art teachers from high school was now teaching at the Caddo Career Center, teaching graphic design. So I just love the idea of spending half of my day at school during my senior year at just doing art. So I ended up graduating from Ole Miss with a degree in graphic design. Somewhere along the line, I was still wanting to make objects, and I was known as the crafty person. I was always making different types of crafts, I like to work with the objects. So I can't remember exactly how it came about, but I've heard about glass bead making, and somebody put me in touch with a woman in Dallas that taught the method to make glass beads. So I picked up on that and made an appointment to have a week-long class in glass bead making. Absolutely fell in love with the process. I knew this is what I wanted to do, and came home and slowly developed my own glass bead making station. And it really has been a wonderful experience to be in the glass bead making world, connecting with other glass bead makers, learning new techniques. I went to Sage and Tom Holland. They have a beautiful workshop area in northern Arkansas. And so I scheduled, I think, a 2-week-long workshop to go up there and learned so much from them and had a great time when I was there. I'm an outdoors person. I love gardening. I love to be, planting seeds and watching them grow and develop. So nature has always been a part of my inspiration. Right now, as a gardener, I'll have flowers growing, and I wonder if I could make that in either with my metalsmithing skills or with my glass skills. And so I have done that. There's one particular beach heart amulet bead that I make is an inspiration from nature. Because when I was in high school, a group of us at church found out about a work trip that we could go on to the Bahamas. And the parents and some of the leadership at the church decided that that would be a good lesson in being serving a segment of the population of the Bahamas where they really needed help, and develop some church services while we were there. So we all went to the Bahamas, Hopetown, Abaco, and it was the first time I had seen an ocean. Now, I had been in Galveston and saw that beach, but Galveston is no Bahama beach. So I was totally in awe of standing in this water. And I remember, being a Shreveport girl going to the lakes that we have around here. I'm standing in the water, and I'm shocked that I can see my feet. The water is so clear and so blue and I just remember, I still think of that moment of just being in awe of that particular segment of nature. That it just stuck with me. And from that strong connection with nature, that is how the Beach Heart Amulet was developed. I knew as a glass artist that, because I had all these transparent colors of glass rods to work with, I had a set of glass rods that were ivory colored, that looked kind of like the sand. So I started focusing on that inspiration for a whole host of beads that became quite popular with my customers. Amulet means that it has a connection, a spiritual connection for some, or it is a lucky aspect. For me, it was just an object that I brought this memory to life, and I think that's where people connect with it. So that was one of my main beads, but I went on to learn at different workshops how to make, long cylindrical beads with lots of dots and texture to it. And when I would, and then as I made them, I kept going back to, this is how a blind person could hold this and see it in their mind. As I was affected by, being aware of how blind people see the world and experience the world. So I hope as you are seeing the photographs of my glass beads, I want you to know that they're made by hand, one at a time. Many of them are similar, but they're actually made without a mold, and they're handmade, so they're unique. If you have a Beach Heart Amulet made by me, then it's a unique piece. There are many out there that are similar, but yours is going to be special and it'll be unique. I can also work in different colors. If you would like your Beach Heart Amulet to be slightly different colors, I have a wide range of glass rod colors that I can choose from. I also make glass beads. They're all different kinds of shapes. Some of them are long and cylindrical. Some of them are shaped like a cube, diamond shaped, teardrop shaped. That's the beauty of molten glass. I can shape it in 1,000 different ways in that liquid form that becomes solid through the cooling and kiln process.